Armz Korleone!
I look at his ass, I'll say we had to take him in the eye to the bitch now. You know what I'm saying is, whatever happens, knockout, distance, I'm ready. I'm not going there to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome his opponent, Bouncer!
Sign that contract. You might be able to bench press 300 kg. I've got 300 dads to punch you in your face. This ain't no prop money, you know. No prop money, bread, yeah? No prop money, bro. Sign the contract, bro. What?
Out here, Bouncer, you're talking too much shit. Talking about man shoot to sign a contract. Come on, I'm out here with the man them 30 G's, you feel me? What's on the contract? What's the contract? Let me sign that, bro. Yeah, talking about your patch man up. And live where? I'm shoot book where? Sign this thing real quick. See that thing? Yeah. I mean, this time.
Hey, Armz Korleone, make sure you're ready. We snuck us up like a bad beat in the video. We snuck us up like a bad beat. Make sure you're ready. September.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling confident still. It's real now. It's real now. Shut up, man. Shut up. I can't show you on pussy. Can't show you.
There's no beast can release
released.
You sure?
There's
You sure?
none.
I said no more. I ain't
No
gonna
beasts
talk too
getting
much.
released, bro. You get me? There's gonna be none. No. You get me? You don't even know what's gonna hit you anyway.
I know. That's fine.
You're not gonna know what's gonna hit you.
Arms, make sure you are ready. Please, make sure you are ready.
Ching man down to the ground, man. Ching some more if it's about getting up. Ching more if it's about standing. Get no one at the top of the rankings. Us man at the top of the rankings because the work rate keeps you outstanding. I'm on the up block trying to see what's good. So you used to be there in the block, but it's only cities to do that for you. Only slept and did that for you. If I pull that shit from my ass, lick that in your face, now I put on my shit face. So holy gang is a mistake, Regis. Holy gang is a disgrace. I could do my killers and chickens. Man, jump out of the my shaking man, man, see while the wheels are spinning. Man said I keep on sinning. All I don't trust, money and women. Plus I got shotties and spins. I make money on streets and sales, now I'm trying to buy wax and tingers. Talking my name and he got some nerve. 2 hands on the night, 2 hands on the spend, even way watch a gang disperse. Shing right down my Wall Street, tight. Strip on the worst, let it rip, beat the sticks. First time I got man, I did that first. Ran it up and I ran it up. I don't know who's fast, but I still try to shing their head. I don't know the loudest seats and the loudest slot. I shake my head, coming out, whoa. Crack this on the most honors. I made some words for boxer, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. This is for the vacant, wicked and bad heavyweight title. This will be an MMA contest scheduled over 5 3-minute rounds. Your judges Kate Scheid, Wayne McKenna, Mitch Mitchell and Joel Clayton. Your referee in charge of the action is Lee Ding Dong Doyle. Wicked and bad, the judges are ready. The fighters are ready. Are you ready? Introducing first in the blue corner. He weighed in at 112.3 kilograms. He is representing Ghana by way of the United Kingdom. Make some noise for Armz Korleone! Across the cage in the red corner, he weighed in at 115 kilograms, representing the United Kingdom. Yo, my people, make some noise for Bouncer!
Gentlemen, I've had instructions in the changing rooms. Clean, fair fight. Listen to my commands at all times. Touch whoever you want to.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been waiting for. Bouncer versus Armz, heavyweight, professional MMA. No holds barred. Bouncer running out. Johnny straight into the clinch. Armz gets rid of him with over-under. Oh, nice body kick.
Armz looking good on the feet. Bouncer looks early for the clinch there, Carl.
Yeah, Bouncer close the distance. Armz a right hand over the top.
Oh, big shot.
Incline. Gets you with the over-under. Nice outside trip.
Take down now. Side control here for Bouncer.
He's going to love to get his breath back here, I think, like control the side.
Look at the strength, the athleticism here coming from Armz Korleone.
You know what it is, Brian? You don't have to be great at getting up if you're athletic. If you just decide you want to go, it's so difficult to deal with, you know. And I'd just like to see Bouncer just, it looks like he's just getting his breath in there, getting used to being in there and dealing with all the outside factors also.
We got from the corner there, H. We've also got Ashley Grimshaw as well, one of the top grapplers to come out of the UK next week.
Armz is building up, he's really exposing his back as he does it. If Bouncer was to let go of his hands, nice and goes to a wrist right, a nice body lock on the other side, which means he got his left arm around his waist to control his posture.
Still Armz trying to get back to his feet, but this is going to be exhausting as well, Carl. We're a minute in.
100%. You see the way Armz is just trying to get his head higher than Bouncer, makes him more athletic. Now he gets his hips higher than Bouncer, he's more athletic again. Bouncer's kind of holding on here a little bit.
Look at the little things there, Bouncer just reaping that leg back inside, breaking down the base of Armz Korleone.
Nice little trip on the way out. Just make sure he's breaking his heart a little bit. Sometimes when you get your hands a lot, you think you're up, and then that little leg reap just can keep your weight on the floor. But honestly, Armz looking very relaxed. They're not really gambling and ripping and raving, and obviously Bouncer on top, using all the weight and the pressure.
We saw it earlier, this is obviously the game plan, isn't it, coming in?
You're seeing an animated Michael winning page here, looking for a stand-up. There's no real action, but he's got
He's grabbing all that, maybe looking for the head and arm drop there, but Bouncer get the submission finish here in round number 1 now.
against a heavy muscle guy. It'd be a good idea to get outside the head and arm, but he's climbing some out.
Slips, oh, this is solid stuff.
5 seconds remaining in the round, the crowd are going crazy. See how Blake on it. He's still got a bit of a bad angle. He's still in the wrong angle to throw strikes. He should be looking back there, just getting rid of those arms around his head.
But Armz is trying, we've got Bouncer trying this submission from the bottom, but
Yeah, it's very low percentage. It's very low percentage, obviously, because of the leverage and the pressure. This submission is much better suited to the guy on top rather than the guy on bottom. It's just a squeeze. But if you notice, arms is so heavily muscled, there's going to be no space.
and now he's in the guard here with just 14 seconds to play with here.
I think both guys have felt each other's strength and a little bit of power. Obviously, looking like more athletic guy in there. His arms is advertised, but Bouncer using all his skills, been holding for the last couple of seconds.
Round 1 in the books.
Interested to see how they stand up, right? Heavyweight fighting is different. You get a bit of adrenaline up in there, feeling the oxygen in.
Big breaks from both these big men as they go back to the scorecard. Now, Bouncer laid this game plan out very early on. Look for the clinch, finally got it. Armz works it in the reversal at the end of the round. You've got to take some positives there.
Yeah, I would really look at not going on full mount against Armz. Armz is so athletic. And what full mount means is I put my knees over your hips or my hips over your hips. If you're someone that's that athletic, I would never go near the hips. They're so strong. Look at how athletic he is. He's such a big specimen. Obviously, you can throw around heavy weights. Great takedown back there by Bouncer, reaping the outside leg and controlling the side control a little bit. But then, as soon as he creates space,
This was the reversal, yeah, there you saw it.
as soon as you create space for Armz to move in, he's so athletic, the space just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's so impossible to contain him there.
So
It's impossible to contain this crowd as well.
Oh, we are surrounded, mate. We are.
17 people sat on my knee.
So round 2 set to go underway. This round is brought to you by Wicked and Bad Energy.
You see a little bit more urgency in the corner of Armz this round. I think maybe perhaps thought they had to get him down once and the fight will be over. Let's see what happens in the second round.
And on the feet as well, Armz showing some very good striking early on, Carl.
Yeah, he looked light and loose. He threw a nice body kick. I think you if you don't understand how much just that leg hitting you in the body, the weight of it, without somebody even throwing it, Bouncer looking to close the distance.
A bit desperate on that entry though, Carl. That can come with being tired, right?
Yeah, no, not great selves. I think what it is, Brian, it's unusual being in there. Scramble as they hit the mat. Just see where he's on his knees too long. See, Bouncer just allowing himself to be on his knees for too long. He's just allowing the athletic guy his power to come on top of him. But they're looking safe here. They're looking to build underneath him, perhaps get a nice grab hold of one leg rather than two. There you go. And now he's going to pull that leg towards him and dump him to the other side.
Great technique there from Bouncer. Still Armz looking to resist.
Yeah, Armz has got a nice improving position there.
But there we see the technique as well, and Bouncer training with the likes of great top team.
But now, don't underestimate how slippy they are, Brian. Don't underestimate how sweaty they are, how greased up they are, how difficult it's going to be to contain them. This is a good idea. Just wear the fuck out, make Armz carry your weight. Don't even overpunch every shot, just make him frustrated there. Looking to obviously set up the head and arm. That's obviously the finish. His size up for this.
He's pushing that now, that head to the side of his elbow. Elbow to the side of his head, I should say. 1 minute 30 seconds.
Just wearing a guy 110 kilo on top of you.
And there's a thing as well, Carl, that when you are fighting someone, you can feel their energy drop. You can sometimes feel that fight slowly disappear.
In boxing, it's quite difficult. You just grab hold of it. In MMA, sometimes you can feel like the air coming out of the body a little bit. And much more of a balanced round by bouncing this round, looking to wear his opponent out. You see that the Venom Page in the corner asking for a stand-up. There isn't a lot of activity here. There's a guy looking to wear the guy out, there's actually more damage happening from the bottom than the top. So here we go.
Short elbow, now he's posturing up.
45 seconds remaining. We see Bouncer be conservative with his energy. He doesn't need to punch himself out in this position. Obviously, he's already felt that when he postured up, the Armz had a good bridge and bridged his weight off him.
Savvy stuff coming there. Right in front of his corner, you can see them instructing him through this position. Very sound advice.
Not a lot of activity occurring, though. You can see the referee's interested in perhaps stepping up, seeing how the last 25 seconds of the round might occur.
And the tension in here as well, Carl. Everyone is on their feet. Everybody, absolutely.
It was a sea of mobile phones before, but now it's a sea of frowns and invested faces. And some guy in front of me punching the cage dead hard.
Dean Hawkins. Big shots. And we're coming to the end of this second round, Carl.
Yeah, you know, I think the first round was very, very, very even, but Bouncer's found a route to win. And that's perhaps getting on top of him and keep his weight over there. Let's see how they stand up. I've no interest about a wet cage here, these boys.
Fascinating stuff here. Round two, moving into round number 3.
Yeah, look at Armz a little bit. He's taking some big win there.
Michael Venom Page in his corner. That if you're looking for someone to inspire, Armz has talked about Venom Page now becoming like a role model, big brother to him through this journey. How important is that in the corner as well, when you need to look into someone's eyes to try and draw out something from you?
Well, yeah, I think that's what a corner is, isn't it? You look around, you're like, who's going to help me in there? And if you're looking at a lifetime long martial arts, you know, Michael Page's dad got him into the sport of kickboxing at young age. He's won many a title within K1, within kickboxing. He's made the transition over to MMA, perhaps to become the most winningest British competitor we've ever had in Bellator. So yeah, coming from good stock, and look how invested Venom Page is in this fight. He can see a route to win here for Armz. He really can. And Bouncer's seen his route to win. He's kind of orchestrated that to the world. I think maybe if he defends 1 or 2 takedowns, you could see the flow of this fight really change.
Round 3 coming at you, brought to you by Saliba Music Group SMG. Round 3 of a Schedule 5 meet. Brian Lacey alongside Carl Prince calling this heavyweight fight here at Wicked and Bad 2.
Yeah, both guys looking a little bit more visibly fatigued here, perhaps waiting for the other one to initiate.
Big deep breaths circling around Labour.
Big humans, and it's very warm in here, Brian. Let's not underestimate the bright lights and how warm it is. These guys are just catching the breath a little bit here. I'm sure they're going to be urged into action by some disapproving things from the crowd shortly, but Bouncer being patient, looking for Armz to pull the first punch, maybe throw a kick as he goes in range, but really just looking for that clinch.
Looking for the clinch and now trying to get it up against the cage. working for the takedown once more, and you feel that if he gets this, it's going to be very hard for Armz to muster the strength
Here we go.
to get back on.
And he did get it, Brian. But you see, he looks fatigued himself. He's not improving position. He's pressing knees down, but see, Armz not improving posture whatsoever. He's got to get his hips to the cage.
And no urgency as well, Carl, in this position, but he's so tired. And let's talk about it. This is his first fight, first mixed martial arts fight. That adrenaline dump, you've seen your fighters go through it so many times. Just try and describe exactly what happens and what that takes out of you.
Do you know, yeah, adrenaline dumps are horrible. It's like, sometimes you have have you ever had a coffee and you crash? And you're like, I feel scatty, I feel horrible. Imagine doing that in front of your friends where another guy is trying to take your head clean off. I actually don't think that this is an adrenaline dump. I think what happened in the first round, it was a very, very high pace. We had a couple of scrambles, and these guys are big humans, and like you alluded to, heavily muscled, and there's only so many white blood cells in the body that can transport the oxygen to the extremities where it needs to go to, and these two are both feeling the effects of that now, but they're both trained hard, fit individuals, so I think we might see a second wind occur. It's not a high-paced fight. Even though Bouncer's on top, you'd argue that he's not landing any damage. There's not much winning, and I think you're going to see the referee stand them up very shortly if there's not a break in the action.
Yeah, the only thing is he is in full match. It's very difficult to make someone surrender that position, but he's asking him to do so. Lee Doyle in there. Great referee.
Full mount is not a great position for somebody who can't posture and strike. From here, he looks to seem clear the hand of your head and strike. It's not a great position for a submission per se. There's only a couple of submissions, all of which mean you have to fall to your back to complete them. So I don't think Bouncer's going to be interested in that whatsoever. I'd just like to see him get a shot from his corner. There's 30 seconds left to unload, punch him around, and there he is.
And as you say that, there he goes. We get 2 shots.
Well, good.
Back to this.
Good pressure, 2 shots in control.
Does feel like that head and arm is what he's fishing for. He's round 1, round 2.
Yeah, but if you fish for it against a strong guy and he knows you're setting up, but sometimes they can strike, and then go for the submission. He's got to disguise the attack with a form of a different attack. And there we go, nice short elbow landed.
Short elbow, scrapes across the face
there of Armz. Forearm into the head of Armz there. Last couple of seconds remaining of this round. Bouncer again, finishing on top.
And again,
let's see how they stand up, Brian. There's 2 rounds left here. There's 2 rounds left for 2 tired humans.
Bouncer back to his feet, back to his corner.
Going to go inside the corners here, see what adjustment these guys are making.
And what would you look for? Like you said, we've had 2 dominant positions in rounds 2 and 3 from Bouncer. I mean, what would you look for? What would you be advising your corner?
Well, it's pretty evident that Bouncer's looking to get inside, okay? We call it a clinch position, which means once I can get one of my arms underneath your armpit and it can really engage, put my chest on your chest, wear on you. If you notice, for the first 30 seconds of that last round, Bouncer was providing inactivity, so he'd use on the lack of patience of Armz, and Armz finally lost patience, and as soon as that occurred, Bouncer went for the clinch and pressed his chest against him. He knew he has a bit of a technical advantage there, whereas on the feet, I would argue it is 50-50 from Armz' standpoint now. If he's going to stand in the middle, he's got to throw. He has to throw. He can't enter the distance with anything else but a punishing strike. I think both guys are fatigued. If I land one shot and a heavy shot, I think that could be all she wrote.
And these are the championship rounds. Rounds 2, 3, rounds 1, 2, and 3 are done and dusted. Rounds 4 and 5 are upon us.
Deep waters, Brian. This is deep waters. It's about who wants to swim the most, who's the biggest shark in there, who wants it, you know.
And we are underway. Round 4 brought to you by the Shade Butter TSB.
He has to come forward for his strikes, please. Initiate the clinch. Outside reach.
Straight into mount this time. Steps over. Within 10 seconds, we're back in this position. It's Groundhog Day all over again, Carl.
Yeah, you've seen a very frustrated corner over there from Armz. I'm sure that wasn't a plan to walk forward, smother your work, and get taken down into mount. But you see that Bouncer again, a repeat of the second and third round, just looking to perhaps ride out the clock here. I'd just like to see him posture and strike. I think 2 or 3 now. I don't think Armz has the explosion to explode up. 2 or 3 could get a reaction out of the referee. Here we go. Maybe this is that moment.
Let's see if he lets those hands go, drops those leather bombs. Once again, short elbow, then rest just in this top position.
A part of all warfare. A part of all warfare says the guy in the elevated position has an advantage. Obviously here, Bouncer being 110, 15 kilo has a massive advantage. And you see now, Armz doesn't even have his feet on the floor. So there's no attempt to improve position.
Very little resistance, yeah.
It's just a guy with another guy wearing the clock out, working the clock. That's why I really like to see good posture here from Armz. Sorry, from Bouncer to posture and strike. I don't think there's any threat of a stand-up here. But again, it's different in there when you're feeling mass fatigue. You got everyone out screaming instructions, and you're always like, okay, you do that. I'm knackered in here. And you know, it's a horrible place to get tired. It's a real, and I'm sure these guys have put everything on the line and trained really hard and to prevent this from happening. But sometimes this is unavoidable. The first scramble of the first round, the high pace of the first round, was culminated in the mid rounds. A little bit of a lack of inactivity. So I think we're going to see the referee stand up here.
You can see Michael Venom-Page looking at our referee, Lee Doyle. And Lee has spoken to the fighters. He wants to see more action. But again, he's just said to the corner, he's in full mount. He's not going to let him give it up. It's the job of the guy on bottom to get out of that position.
Yeah, I would argue full mount is a great position for grappling. I don't know, it's a great position for bouncing in this moment. I would like to see a stand up here. I think obviously let's keep it into a fight. This is just somebody obviously showing a lot of fatigue, looking to perhaps run down the clock.
And the clock. That's 30 seconds. Oh, looking for a key lock there.
A key lock on Americana cell, which is obviously attacking the inside shoulder.
Now Bouncer still burying that forearm into the throat there.
You see a small little cut on the head of Armz. There's a gum shield out. His Armz is. There's a gum shield out on the floor. His Armz is.
10 seconds now. And there we see, again, Bouncer finishing in that top position. Look how tired these men are. And he got that within 10 seconds, Carl. Arguably, you would want to see him do more with that sort of dominant position.
Yeah, he is the war of attrition, isn't it? It's a guy getting into mount and looking to perhaps run the clock down a little bit and not besmirching what we're here now. I really just think the first round was so fast. The first round was such a fast pace. For guys so big to keep up that same speed is a tough ask. I think now Armz has got to leave it out here. There's 3 minutes remaining. Even if it's just one flurry at the start, I think honestly here that both these guys are so tired, so fatigued. They're just getting on grit alone. I think our crowd would like to see a heavy start here, a big spectacle, a good allocation at the start.
Fifth and final round is upon us. You can see there Michael Venom-Page getting his fight to dig deep. Can Armz Korleone turn this around? Will Bouncer get that top position? Will he be able to finish from that spot?
I'm sure for the past 12 weeks, however long these guys have been training, they've been telling the coaches how much they want it. Words, actions. Let's see what you got, boys.
3 minutes left. 180 seconds. Who will claim this wicked and bad title? Referee calling the fighters to the center of the cage.
5 3-minute rounds of MMA is no joke, people. Everyone in the crowd there starting here thinking there's not been much of a spectacle these last 3 rounds. I invite you to get in there yourself.
I think Lee Doyle is telling let's have some action. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. All the talk, all the training, all the sacrifice, all that is on the line now.
It all comes down to this.
We are underway, round 5, brought to you by Zen Lounge. Me, Brian Lacey, alongside Carl Prince here. Wicked and Bad 2. The 5th and final round. Oh, and over again. Can he resist the take? He might get his back up here, Carl.
Armz looking, he needs to get his head over to the same side of Bouncer's body and push his way up. One big explosion. We haven't really seen an explosion from bottom since the first round. But yeah, Bouncer really putting his game plan on style there. He's just going to walk forward, get into an inside clinch position, get to a top position and control. I mean, I'm sure everybody watching at home, everybody here live would have liked to have seen a little bit more action here. You know, but what I'm seeing is a guy really impose his will, impose his game plan on somebody, get into a top position, wearing out on the bigger guy using his skills.
Sustain it now. We see him push a hammer fist coming down. Oh, big shots. Can he get the finish in round 5?
Armz flowing from bottom as well, though. We have 2 minutes remaining here.
but that was a little bit more coming from Bouncer.
Yeah, a little bit more output, a little bit more of a sense to win. I think there's moments in this fight where I know that he's reserving energy, conserving energy, but there is moments in that way where he just gone through the gears. He probably would have got Armz out here, I think, with some big damage, a couple of big elbows or some big ground and pound.
1 minute 30.
There's no disguising what the crowd are wanting here. Open him up like an email, they're asking.
Again, Bouncer with those short grinding elbows across the face of Armz.
And what I will say, I'm sure both these guys have all the visions of how this would be an enterprising match with two guys duking out and standing up. But it's different when you get in there.
Yeah, a whole different world when that cage door shuts.
You have to have maximum respect for both these guys who are putting on the line. Not just having a fight with somebody, but you've got to think of the standing that these guys have come from inside the community, the standing they have. They didn't need to get in here.
And the platform they're giving to other young people. It is phenomenal what they have achieved just through the promotion of this. The messages underlying between this fight.
They've already given Aid and Liquorman a great platform to grow. They're only going to grow themselves through this. I'm sure they're going to want to get in there again and show everybody just how good they are and everything like that. And understand that 3 fight years and the first fight ever, it is so difficult in there. You guys have put a great account on display here.
25 seconds left.
Nice little short landed by Bouncer.
Still, this is the position. Still the crowd want more.
Bouncer just found a route to win here. Fought a smart fight. I'm sure it's not the fight a lot of people wanted to come watch it. Two guys duking out in the center of the cage. But I don't think there's any question of who's the victor in this matchup.
Final buzzer goes. Look at that, both are done and dusted. 15 minutes shared between these two men. And Carl, it was just the story was the grappling and the rest. This is a mixed martial art contest. We said we were surprised that's what Armz went for. Really was that was the difference. The fact that at ease, pretty much Bouncer could take him down and hold him there.
Yeah, I just think as well. I'm surprised that he went the distance. You know, I know both guys are tired, but I don't know if many people have done 15 minutes of MMA. It's such a challenge for him to be able to grit the teeth, like war of attrition, and like honestly, to not want out in there, that itself is fighting.
Yeah, and everyone that's booing in here, we'd almost challenge them to just try 5 minutes of MMA, let alone 15. It's a different beast. Now, talk us through some of this action.
Yeah, you see what Bouncer got onto quite quickly was that Armz is very, very athletic and difficult to move when on a spot. So he was moving him back, like challenging his weight. And the moment that Armz' feet came together, Bouncer would just trip him outside. He maybe start in like a side control or a quarter mount, build his way into mount, progress into mount, just nullify the athleticism of Armz and strike from top. Just again, control and strike. But both these guys are seriously fatigued, like seriously tired. They left it all in there. They're going to need a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing, lots of water. And everybody's respect, they've earned each other's respect. They should have earned everyone's respect in the building at home, everyone's respect watching here tonight. They put on a great show, a great spectacle, a great occasion for everybody. So Bouncer's friends lift him up to his feet now to get the acclaim from the crowd. Two guys leaving it all on the line tonight. Armz played dirty tonight. I played a dirty game against Armz Enterprise and striking, wanted to keep it standing. Bouncer made sure the fight took place where he knew he had that advantage. But he wanted a great show of respect from both guys. They gave 15 minutes full of respect there. So we're going to bring it to our MC for the evening, Mr. Brian Later, to make this result official.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, give it up for both these two fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has gone to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges are in unanimous decision. Your winner and new Wicked and Bad champion in the red corner, Bouncer! Come here, my friend. Excuse me, my brother. My goodness. 5 hard-fought rounds. 5 hard-fought rounds against such a tough opponent. I mean, you look exhausted. Sum up exactly what this has done physically, mentally, how you're feeling right now.
I feel fucked. But it was hard training for the 7 months, twice a day, being a trainer, being a promoter. This is big for the culture. We created a new platform, no backing from no one but our people. No big sponsors, we didn't have Sky Sports. We didn't have none of them. We had our people. Big up Armz, big up the team. It was business. My next fight, I'll be more in shape than what's like. You get me? I like the food. Yo, my people, you don't know. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Wicked and Bad champion. Energies. Listen, 3.5 years ago, I was working in Timpson's. Yeah? I was working in Timpson's. Just before that, I served 10 years in prison. You get me? I've got my brothers, big up my team. Big up H Botson, big up Dean, big up Ash, big up Saleh, big up Bilal. Botson Booth, them Peenies. GB top team. I am a Muslim, alhamdulillah.
Beautifully said, beautifully put. Let's have a word for your opponent as well. There was so much beef beforehand, but both of you have delivered a platform to inspire young people. Both of you laid it all on the line here tonight. Have you got any words for Armz Korleone?
Yeah, man, he's a warrior. He's a warrior. I saw a comment on Instagram, yeah? He said, if losers, I'm done
What
with the gym.
fucking bullshit
I've
was
done this
that?
for all the fat man.
That's bullshit.